Welcome to another highly questionable Wednesday. Sarah Spain still helping us out. What do you like on the show today, Sarah?
Dame time.
Yeah, it is. Damian Killer. Dale, papi.
Was Damian Lillard 37-foot game winner a bad shot?
This is crazy. It's a historic shot. It's a cool shot. His reaction was somehow cooler than the shot. My father is fishing for some reason. That was a fishing reel, right? That was not a jump shot. Let's see what we have here. That's Paul George. He's a very good defender. He's way out there on him. And that's just crazy. And Seth Curry was in the corner telling the OKC bench that he was going to do that. And then Lillard waves goodbye to OKC's season, and this is the team that C.J. McCollum, oh, that's cool right there. Just ice cold, all of it. You never see endings to games like that. Never mind another team's season ended when the guy who's doing the ending has a robust feud against hissing Russell Westbrook that he wins in that decisive a fashion. That was clearly the best moment we've gotten so far from the basketball season. The first round was pretty dreadful, but that was some punctuation you don't expect.
Was that a bad shot? Well, let's see. He's shooting almost 67% from 30-plus feet out in this postseason, and he has more 30-plus feet shots than anybody, including Steph Curry in the regular season and the postseason. So that's like saying Giannis dunked on your face. That's not a great shot. Well, yeah, because most people can't dunk on your face, but if someone repeatedly does it, it's a good shot for them. So that's a nice try to cover up why you weren't guarding him tight enough for him to shoot that right over you, Paul George, but you ain't fooling anybody.
You know, Damian Lillard got all the credit for it, but you know who was the one that motivated him to make that shot?
Ricky.
That's right, Phil Beckner. You know who that guy is? That's his trainer. Nobody give him credit for it. Phil Beckner. That's
okay,
the guy.
we're all learning.
Telling him you shoot from midcourt. You keep on shooting. You keep on shooting, and one of these days you're going to get lucky and make one shot. And he did. He made that one. So how about giving the guy some credit? Phil Beckner, a name you'll never forget.
Love of God.
Thought he had Ricky Rubio calling him before the game. I thought for sure we were going to Ricky Rubio.
Oh, I read the show prep. I read all the research. It's right here. His name is right here, buddy.
Okay, there it is.
Phil, you did a great job.
All right, the trainer, Phil Beckner.
Is Russell Westbrook's window closed?
Wow, that happened quickly. He was just getting the MVP trophy and averaging a triple-double. But yes, the window's closed and the house is crumbling because he cannot be your best player. If he's your best player, you're not getting out of the first round. The math has changed in this sport. We know who's efficient and who's not efficient. By volume, he's one of the worst shooters in the history of the league from depth. The league has gone to depth, and he keeps shooting. Last night, Paul George was great. Great enough to win. Great enough to save their season. And Russell Westbrook was the same guy that was getting blamed for everybody whenever Kevin Durant failed when he was in OKC.
Yeah, and the key is not just you can't win if he's your best player, but you can't win if he thinks he's your best player. And that's what happened. He hit a big three, he hit a good driving shot, and that meant down the stretch, he was puffed up Russell Westbrook. Leave it to me, guys. Don't call a timeout. Don't bother passing it to Paul George. I got this. But you don't got this. You've missed 100 field goals combined in your last 5 elimination games. Not taken, missed 100 field goals in your last 5 elimination games. So even when you go out and get a player like Paul George, who's very clearly the better player this year, if Russell Westbrook still thinks he can get it done, this is what happens. And it's only going to get worse because right now he's about athleticism and effort and not shooting. And athleticism and effort are going to go away the older he gets and the less his body can give him hustle plays. And then you're just left with a guy who can't shoot.
I know what he has to do. I know who can fix his shot.
Phil Beckner.
Phil Beckner, you read my mind. You read my mind.
It's amazing. It's amazing how I did that.
You gotta get together with Phil. He'll give you a few tips here and there. You know what I mean? Is the Nets coach right that the Sixers can compete for a championship?
It says Nets coach there. It does not say Kenny Atkinson, because if we asked you the question, who's the Nets coach, you probably wouldn't know that. But after getting smoked by the Sixers, they won a game, but then they got smoked because the Sixers starting 5 is as good as any starting 5 in the league. And when that is so, when you have 5 guys that you could put up against Golden State's 5 guys and say, not too many mismatches here, then you've got a good team that can challenge that one if it can get out from under the extraterrestrial that plays in Milwaukee, who doesn't need all of that.
Yeah, they've averaged double digits, each one of their starters over the series, and they outscored the Nets by 104 points in the 66 minutes that they were on the court. This starting five is killer. Unfortunately, there's not a lot after the starting five. So if there's foul trouble, if Embiid's knee gets problematic, if anybody fouls out or gets ejected again, that's when this team is going to struggle. When you've got to face up against teams like the Raptors or the Celtics or the Bucks, as Dan said, it's not going to be quite as easy. But it's nice that the Nets coach thinks that they can take it as far as they'd like. That's because they were playing the Nets. Let's just see how they do in later rounds.
What are you talking about? They got Boban off the bench. That's the X
Yeah.
factor.
They do have
That's
Boban.
right.
They do have
A lot
Boban.
of depth in there. You know what I mean? That's it.
Well, more length than depth.
That's right.
Okay.
Why don't we pay more attention to what the Joker is doing?
It is difficult to talk about the Denver Nuggets. They had a surprising season, and you didn't see a lot of their games on the West Coast if you were on the East Coast, and they are a first-time playoff participant. You need the Lillard losses, the moments that allow us to get to know your personality, to see some heartbreak, and when you're a foreigner and you're coming to this team that no one expected anything from, even though he's a triple-double threat every time he's out there, even though he's the best player for the team that surprised us the most this year, he's got to do this for several seasons. And even if he does do it for several seasons, if we don't see glimpses of his personality, the game's not going to be enough for a foreigner.
Yeah, a guy that covers the Nuggets described him as the most exciting player that couldn't jump over the Sunday paper. And that's a lot of it, too. Yeah, triple-double threat every night. He's not making athletic plays that you're going to see on SportsCenter highlights. Great passing, especially for a big man, but not the kind of plays that you're used to getting excited about. So as he efficiently makes his way to triple-double-like numbers almost every game and leads this Nuggets team, it's just not that exciting. And he's not a guy we know very well. Like Dan said, we need a couple narratives around this team, and one of them is going to be upsetting a very veteran Spurs coach and a team that's made it many years in a row with a very young and experienced team. Get into the next round and maybe we'll start paying more attention.
No, we won't.
That's true. He's so right about that. We're going to be talking about LeBron didn't make the playoffs. We're going to be talking about Golden State. He's so right.
The Vegas Golden Knights got bleeped by the ref.
The basketball playoffs have not been very good. It was Damian Lillard's one shot, and before that, it was all about Jared Dudley somehow. The hockey playoffs, meanwhile, have been totally bananas, crazy. If any of this stuff was happening in basketball, we'd be talking about it for months. The Golden Knights here are up 3-0 on the road. 3-0. And then here, there's going to be a 5-minute major for cross-checking, but it's not called in the moment. It's in the aftermath. There's blood. And what happens after that is totally crazy for that cross-check right there. What happens after that is 4 goals in 5 minutes. And look at what the Golden Knights are saying afterward. They're embarrassed, they're bothered, they're frustrated, their season is over for all the wrong reasons.
I mean, I really hope that Joel Pavelski's okay. Obviously, you never want to see something bad like that happen, but it's a joke. Call 5 minutes for that? That's, why don't you have a hockey replay or something? Change the whole outcome of the game. Like, seriously, what is that? It's so disappointing. It's like trying to get involved in the game. The game's not even close. It's 3-0. Call it 2, okay, but a 5 with something you don't even see, you just call the outcome. It's a joke. It's embarrassing. That's what it is.
Now, to be fair, they're allowed to call the outcome. They're allowed to see the results of the cross-check and advance it to a major. But his point is a good one, too. We can look at whether someone interfered with a pad 150 times on a goal replay, but we can't replay a call like this that drastically changes the game. It's a good point. Also a good point. Don't give up 4 goals in 5 minutes, and then don't lose in overtime. Now, you wouldn't even be there without this call, probably. A lot of the sour grapes is the added embarrassment of giving up a lead the way they did.
Well, that's the reason they're on my team in hockey, buddy, because you see what they did. They did something that had never been done in hockey history.
Yeah.
You know, they were down 3-0 and they came back and they won the whole thing. You know, everybody was counting them out, you know, Los Tiburones de San Jose. But all of a sudden, they turned the afterburner on, and there you have it. They're moving on to the next series.
Poppy, lifelong Sharks fan.
Who are they playing in the next round?
They're playing the Blue Jackets of Colorado.
Oh, he did name 2 places that have hockey, a city and a team.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, Dwayne Haskins.
What do you have for Dwayne, Papi?
Yes, Dwayne, if Miami doesn't get the opportunity to pick you, can you demand a trade to Miami?
Yes, they need a quarterback in Miami. Can you do that?